Hello guys, welcome back to my synthetic analysis. Apologies on last weekend, I could not make the video. I had laptop issues, but let's continue. Let's see how the week ahead will be. Okay? We have few pairs here, of which I'll just quickly go through them. So we can, I've already analyzed them, so I'll just explain to you guys what I'm forecasting for the week ahead and also for the rest of the month. Okay, this one we on Jam 25 we had a trade like 2 weeks ago. We did not hold our trade up to 90% rule, of which successfully went and reached the TP, but we held up to around these areas where we were taken out by this long week over here. Okay? But overall, it was a nice trade. I did not follow up on it. I did not follow up on it as last weekend I did not analyze, so that's why I did not follow up on it. I would have re-entered when it broke the lower trend line, but it is what it is. I was happy with the profit I got, and it was a good trade. It was a good trade. Okay, going forward, we have volatility 10. Volatility 10 made a nice setup over here. You can see, we made this an expanding channel, which you are anticipating a sell from these areas. We did take a sell of these areas, but we were taken out unfortunately. And so I decided to wait for it to reach our key level, which is this area, and see how it will behave on that area. Okay. If it breaks our trend line, you can see we have drawn our trend line over here. If it breaks our trend line, then I'll be looking to enter for a sell. So this one is going to be a good sell. Just the entry that we need to catch. Once we get the entry, we can sell this setup all the way up to these lows, and then look forward, probably using trading stop loss to reach up to the lowest low over here. Okay, so this one we just have to watch for it. Will take some time, but hopefully within next week we'll be ready. We'll see how it goes. Okay, on for 225. Yes, I remember giving this today morning. Today is on Saturday. So I gave a buy over here, hoping this one will push all the way to these areas. I'm hoping this to push to I'm hoping this to push to these areas over here so that we can look for a sell setup for us to go low. But it hasn't played the way I wanted it to play. As you can see, we were just taken out. Go to okay, 1 hour time frame. We took a buy from these areas and we were taken over. This was a very big candle, but it quickly retraced back with another big candle. So I'll be looking to again look for an entry for a buy because I'm seeing a good buy here. You can see the setup is pretty big. So if I can get a push, if I can get a push to the upside, then maybe give me some setup over here. Then I can take that buy to the upside. Okay, so that when we reach these levels, I'll be looking now for my setups for the sell. Okay. Looking for my long setup for sell, which is the biggest trade. This one is just a quick trade because the overall pattern shows us that we are going to sell probably up to these levels. Our 90% rule, which is down here. So I'm expecting us to reach up to the 90% if this trade goes well. Okay. So I'll be looking to take another entry, probably around this section over here for a quick buy. Okay, for a quick buy, potentially to reach these levels and even pass it because this markets tend to make some extensions. Guess I'll be looking to take this one up to that level. So we'll see how it goes. But if you get a nice, if you have nice account, nice equity, you can just take the buy from here. Move, put your stop loss around down here. You can put your stop loss around down here. Let me just put it right now. You can take your buys, stop loss around here, and hold it, because it's good reward comparing to the risk. It, it's worth the risk, because the pattern is so big that it has enough space to get that extra, to get that good. Okay. Okay. So and then this one better watch out for this one with 25. This one is on my radar. Next we have let's see. Uh-huh. Okay, so next we have Boom 300. Boom 300, I remember we entered this like it was yesterday. We entered a sell on top of this. And I remember, if you can remember the screenshot I sent screenshot of this one. And I said this one, I drew the screenshot of this one coming back down, up, and then we shoot to the downside. You can see that screenshot in the group. Then you should be in this trade also. You should be in this trade. But currently we are out. We took a nice profit of 300 pips and we moved the stop loss. We moved the stop loss around these areas for TP3, that is. We have already won TP1, which I also gave to the free members, and TP2, which I gave to the VIP members. So TP3, my TP3 was down around these areas. Yeah, this is my TP3. But as you can see, the price pushed up very deeply. I gave it enough space, but it went up. I just took us out before turning back down again. So we are continuing our down move, which I'm seeing it going all the way to our 90%. Yeah. So this trade, I'll still look for an entry here. Today I can get an entry, but I won't post this one for the free members. I will try and give it to the VIP, as I gave very big tips for free members, because it was over 100 tips. It was so much tips. But if you are still in this trade, just hold, just hold on it. Like right now, you can move your stop loss to this area. This one was a nice stop loss move. And just move your stop loss up to here. Just let the market play out. Just like, or you can enter. This one you can enter even right now, as long as you have account to hold it. Because this is boom 300 moves a lot. Don't use big lot size. Okay, so you can just enter this trade like right now. It's ready to enter. This trade is ready. Just enter from there, and you take it up to the 90% rule. Okay, this one was a nice trade. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Okay, next we have crash 300. Crash 300, you can see from the 4-hour chart. These markets are still new, so they haven't given us enough structure for us to capitalize on. But as you can see, the price pushed down, gave us this correction. This one was a reversal, a continuation pattern. This was a continuation pattern to the downside, but you can see it pushed all the way up, gave us correction, pushed up, then pushed down, gave us another correction. As you can see, these corrections are almost similar, but this one played out and the other one did not. So you never know which one will play out, but majority of them will play out. So we'll have advantage over the market. Okay, you don't have to get to feel disappointed just on one trade. There's a lot of opportunity. You might have missed this one, or potentially could have won some pips here. As you can see, this is a 4-hour chart, and It actually moved a lot. So let's see. This one was like around 500 pips. That's big. That's a lot. 500 pips before it went back up. You know. So this one you could have taken even TP1, TP2, maybe TP3 could have came and tagged you out with a trailing stop loss. So it was still nice. But this one you could have capitalized on it very nicely. This one you could have gotten it. And another one was here also. That was here. But this one made an extension. This one made an extension and it went back down. So I'll be waiting to see how the market reacts in this low. But potentially it will be so nice if it gets up to our third touch. Gets out up to our third touch, I'll be looking for the huge buys. This one is a huge buy, man. This one is a huge buy. Considering how many pips this market moves, this one will be a huge buy. This one is over 8,000 pips. But of course, we won't hold all of this just in one trade. We'll be getting it in and out because the market has some pullbacks, some deeper pullbacks. So we won't hold just one trade. We'll be entering. If we're taken out again, we enter. We look for another setup. We enter. We ride the trend. Okay, we ride the trend until where it will want to be either here or there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But this one will be a nice one. This one I'll wait for it. Can take some time, but patience, patience. Okay. Now next we have Crash 500. Crash 500. This one it was on my radar since last week, and the price was around this area. I was watching very carefully, but my trend line was like this. So I waited for the touch. It it just nearly touched our trend line and broke out from to it broke out of the trend line. So we decided to took an entry here. It went up our way for some nice deals. It was around what 50 pips. And I remember I told you guys if you're not used to holding long trades, you can secure your profits. So to those guys, congrats, because 150 pips is quite a lot. But for us, we were taken out. Yeah, we were taken out full, yeah, full loss, of which I'm not regretting, part of the trade. And I was already anticipating. My mind was already settled for the loss because, as you can see, it did not touch our line. So I knew there is high chance of this trade backfiring, because it did not touch. And once we were taken out, I haven't looked for another entry, because it hasn't touched our line. So I'll be waiting till the time that it will touch this line. That's the time I will enter. Or if it gives me another pattern to show me that now it's good to go. But for now, I won't be looking for another entry until it touches our line. Okay? Because this is a nice setup. If it gets up to our trend line, it will be a nice one. Okay? So currently my trend line is over here. So I'll be focusing on this trend line only when our price reaches this line. That's when I'll be focusing to see if it breaks this trend line of ours. But for now, this line it should be just on my run. It will be just on my run. It's going to be a good one. You see the setup looks so nice. Okay. Now next we have Crash 1000. Crash 1000 is yet to form a clean pattern. As you can see, we only have two touches to the upside and one touch on the downside. So I'm anticipating a sell up to these areas. Potentially it will be in these areas where we have very many rejections. Okay, these areas as you can see. So if it comes back to these areas and it pushes up, I'll be looking for a buy opportunity as I will draw my trend line possibly like this. So if we get a pattern over here, I will enter for a buy. just a short-term buy. Okay, I'll enter for a short-term buy, and I'll look to take that up to that level, or it might make an extension to these areas because these are the key areas that the price might come to. So if it can make an extension to those areas, then I'll take it. So I'll be just using my, the good thing of using trailing stop loss is that you won't cut your profits way early. You are giving market time to play around that, and maybe it will go your way and surpass where you anticipated it to reach and come back down. So I'll be expecting this to reach up to this level. So I'll be using my trading stop loss immediately our price reaches come back to this level. That's where I'll start to move my stop loss tighter and tighter, so that because I know from these areas the price will have higher chance of coming back down. So I'll be waiting for this down push, then up push, give us a small correction, the other move up. So from here, this is the area where I will look for my sell setup. So if it gives me a pattern over here, then I might enter for this big setup over here. Okay. So that's all for this week. For next week, this one will not be ready anytime soon, but it's the only one that I've forecasted that is not yet close to being ready yet. Because I'm seeing it playing out nicely. So that's it, guys. Nash FOREX out.